Hey everyone, and finally, welcome back to another movie review. I do apologise that it has been so long since we have last done a movie review. We just haven't had the time or been in the right sort of mental state, for a lack of better words, to really do another one. As you can understand, this is an hour and a half minimum of time to spend. And we just didn't have the. This film fucking sucks. But anyway, welcome back. I'm your host, as ever, Purple Midnight 8. Joined, and I'm happy to say at last, for a film review, once again, by my wife, the Obsidian Nook Pal ASMR. Why don't you say hello?
Hello.
We are covering Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Now, I'd like to state that this isn't a pick, this was an accidental borrow, where it was kind of forced onto us.
We got lent this.
I felt guilty that I couldn't say no. The friends who lent it to us, they both happened to, so I didn't really say no.
We got lent this, and you're.
That's why I say accidental. It's not our choice.
No, this doesn't count as anyone's choice. If you cast your mind back to the last film we covered, which I can't even remember what it was, it's been that long. Covered. It might have been 13 Ghosts. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But we got lent this, and we thought, well, your stepdad was like, "Oh, do you want to watch this?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's do it." So we were setting up, and I was just like, you know what? If we're gonna watch this anyway, I'm gonna go get the computer and I'm gonna write up the review on it. And here we are. My God, was it a fucking mistake? And I wish we picked a better film to come back with. That's done by Most Popular, by the way. It might have been The Stuff, actually. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the last one was.
It bugs. Oh boy, you.
No, that's too complicated. I can't be asked. I just like to do it, unless there's a playthrough, I do my playlists by Most Popular. Then everyone can see all the favourite episodes of people's. Surprising the order they're in. Anyway, enough about that. We are covering this fucking ugly, boring, tedious movie that we shouldn't have fucking bothered with. I think it was 13 Ghosts, yeah.
Before that, it was Stage.
Yeah, so it is your go. That was a month ago, did I say?
We've taken a break.
It's been a month since we've done a film review, so we do apologise, but we are back. And like I say, I wish we picked something better. This film is horrifically ugly. Like, it is. Ugh, it's just horrible to look at. The animation is terrible. Like, the dialogue is laughable. It's. Just go watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because it's basically what this film is, with a bit of Tom and Jerry tomfoolery on the side.
I think the thing that annoys me is it felt like they just threw Tom and Jerry and some animations in with this.
They just animated the film and then threw Tom and Jerry in, and it looks old. The art style just looks like it should have came out like when the original film came out.
But to be fair, I've never been like fan of Wonka, so I've seen the one with
Is it the Johnny Depp one?
Johnny Depp.
That is a good one.
Haven't seen the original,
Mm.
the one before that, and I haven't seen the new one that came out recently called Wonka.
Prequel.
So yeah, I'm just not a massive fan of it.
No, I'm not too big of a fan of
I think it's
Yeah, if you're not familiar, the boat ride is the biggest, like, what the fuck moment. And they basically do that scene from the film, but with Tom and Jerry and one of the other characters that we'll talk about. And it's just pointless. Just go watch the film, honestly. Go watch the actual Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Do not waste your time with this blank film. Because, God, we made a mistake, but I thought, let's get back into the swing of things. we were gonna watch a film anyway that we didn't have too much like interest in.
I think you said as well when you Googled yourself, you said a lot of people said the same thing about, because they haven't just got this film, have they? They've got
No,
the first one.
there's a lot of different films.
Just
It's a lot of just like, oh, here's this big like IP that's been made. Let's just throw Tom and Jerry in it because we are allowed to.
And I learned something.
Oh, you learned the meaning behind Tom and Jerry. I could be wrong, but they're named after the nicknames for both sides of World War II, with Tommy's being the English and then Jerry's being the Germans. So I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I remember hearing that somewhere, and it's just been a fact that's stuck in my head. But anyway, enough for this rambling of how much this film fucking sucks. We could just leave it there, and that could be the review. But we've got to pad it out another quarter of an hour or so and give our angry thoughts on this horrible film. So this film is written by Gene Grillo and directed by Spike Brandt. Do not know who these people are. God, do not. It's not given a good first impression. If this is the this is the first film we're covering. So, God. This is a straight to DVD film, unsurprisingly, which is probably most of their animated flicks.
I think actually Mum bought me this for one Easter, and I think I, like, when you moved in, I put it in my donation bar and never looked back.
Yeah, good thing you did put it in a... What if it's the same copy? Could you imagine if it was the same copy, it's just come full circle? That's creepy to think about. You must review this shite. So anyway, we'll get into our little movie breakdown now, so sit back, relax, and listen to our wonderful tones of me complaining about this film. So yeah, basically... This is just going to be me talking about Willy Wonka with the occasional, like, elsewhere, not essential to the plot. Tom and Jerry are doing this. So anyway, Tom alongside Jerry, voiced by an uncredited Spike Brandt, the director of this film, scrounge for food, competing over a piece of cheese that ultimately is run over by a car. Tom chases Jerry, who escapes by clinging onto a shoelace, before being dropped into the Candyman, played by Jess Harnell, not Tony Todd, his store. Tom follows and chases him as the store owner sings his song to children who are browsing his store. Because the Candyman can. We all know the song. Tom catches him and almost eats him before Charlie, played by Lincoln Melcher, stops him, giving them bread to eat instead. Yeah, Stasy's screaming somewhere. Anyway, Charlie tells him how he wishes to buy a Wonka bar. It's so tempted to say Wanka bar. Willy Wonka.
Oh.
Yeah, throwing that for you now. To buy a Wanka bar before returning to his home. Grandpa Joe, also played by Jess Harnell. This cast consists of about 3 people. I'm kidding, there's more. Is annoyed that he works so hard, promising to help him. Tom and Jerry attempt to perform, like a song and dance, to raise money for the Wanka bar, but to no avail before a Wonka truck arrives. Sneak into the door. Fucking hell, you can tell it's been a while. Sorry, I've got something caught in my throat as well. Sneaking into the store after the delivery dog, Spike, played as well by Spike Brandt. Very funny, he probably thought of that himself. He was like, wouldn't it be funny if I voiced a character that shared my name? They steal it from behind his back, and that evening they go to Charlie's house where they overhear Joe telling Charlie about Wonka. So yeah, it is basically the film playing out, and then it's like, oh, what if Tom and Jerry are also, like, around? Charlie refuses the crate of Wonka bars and sends them back to the store to return them. However, Spike catches them, only to be tied up and sent away by the pair. You'll get that a lot as well. It's just like, oh, they are caught by this character. Charlie, at school, accidentally botches a science experiment before a student arrives telling everyone Wonka is giving out free chocolate. this is the whole like competition. Charlie watches on the news, learning of 5 golden tickets scattered around the world. He learns the first has been found by a German boy, Augustus Gloop, of course, played by Rachel Butera. In a factory, Veruca, played by Emily O'Brien, who we pointed out actually does sound like the original actress of Veruca, but isn't, happily receives a ticket from a factory worker. She's minted. So Veruca for a name. How unfortunate. A third ticket is found by a girl named Violet, played by Dallas Lovato, and the fourth is found by a boy named Mike, played.
Sorry, that Veruca reminds me of that advert.
Veruca, that Veruca, yeah. Oh god, that take me back. Mike is played by Lauren Wiseman. All of the winners are whispered to by a strange man. Charlie receives a bar from Joe, but receives no ticket inside. Ultimately, the last ticket is seemingly claimed, disappointing everyone. Still taking a chance, Tom and Jerry return bottles for a coin, repeatedly losing it down a drain. Charlie spots it down there and uses it to buy a bar. Charlie watches as the final quote-unquote winner is arrested for having a fake ticket. Because, sure, that's how that works. Well, considering the state of the fucking law at the minute. Eesh. Charlie opens his bar, discovering, of course, a golden ticket inside, because, of course, why wouldn't he? Attracting a crowd, but he flees down a tunnel. There, the strange man, of course, Slugworth, played by Mick Wingert, asks him to bring a sample of a candy Wonka is making, which could put him out of business. Slugworth sings an exposition-filled song. It's pretty bad, to be honest. Charlie escapes and returns the ticket to his family, which I've lost, inviting Joe to go to the factory with him. As Charlie, Tom and Jerry... I said it, Tom and Jerry. Help Joe out of bed, Joe sings a song about having a ticket and is joy about it. God, this fucking film. We should have just watched the original and not bothered. Because how much of this am I talking about the actual film rather than Tom and Jerry? It just sounds like a cash-in, even though this came out so long after the original, and obviously the Johnny Depp one. The next day is conveniently the day of the tour, and in a rush to leave, Joe and Charlie drop the ticket as they leave. I forgot all about this. Jerry notices this, so he and Tom rush to give over the ticket as Wonka emerges from his factory to the infatuated onlookers. Of course, this is where he fakes his, wound on his leg. However, the internet has corrupted me, and my youth has been corrupted. There's an X-ray shot of him, searching his pockets, and I fucking thought he was playing with his balls. I thought he was playing with his testicles, because it looked like a fucking sack. Oh, that was funny. I couldn't unsee it. It was awful. Wonka, played by J.P. Karliak. As you could have guessed, there's a lot of, mostly unknown people in this film. Receives everyone's tickets just in time, of course, as Tom and Jerry spot Slugworth entering the factory. The two of them try and sneak in, where Spike catches them, but is flattened by a door. You forget how much these, characters actually go through. How much physical distress they go through and don't die. He's literally flattened by a door, he later gets, cut off into cubes. Spike continues to give chase, because he's fine. However, the two flatten him again and eject him from the factory. Not safe for long, the two of them are found by Tuffy, played by Kath Soucie, an Oompa Loompa intern who's also a mouse. I don't know what gender they are. I have no idea, they don't specify. They are non-binary. I don't know, it's difficult. It's voiced by a female, so I'm just gonna use female pronouns. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. He's a mouse. She's a mouse. Yes, Stasi has arrived. Tuffy takes them through a trippy tunnel in order to warn Wonka about Slugworth, ending in the chocolate room as the tour arrives. Oh, pardon me. economy again. Very gassy. Wonka sings his World of Imagination song as Toffee goes to warn Wonka as Augustus falls into the river, being pulled under and sucked into a pipe. This is of course followed by an Oompa Loompa song. Wonka brushes off the incident and welcomes the tour into a boat, leaving the others behind. Slugworth appears with Spike in an attempt to stop them, but they are knocked into the river and also sucked into the pipe. It's just like the events keep getting repeated. It's the definition of insanity, is literally doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to change. I made a Far Cry reference. Yippee! Tuffy calls their own boat and they set off in pursuit, passing through a seizure-inducing nightmare tunnel. Don't know where we're going. That bit. Eventually they arrive at the invention room as Wonka shows the tour a secret machine that creates everlasting gobstoppers, the very thing that Slugworth is after. Charlie and Joe notice Tom, Jerry and Tuffy, who informs them about Slugworth entering the factory. Violet refuses to listen to Wonka and takes gum that isn't fit for consumption yet, just like the film, turning bright purple and growing and expanding into a ball. The Oompa Loompas take her to the squeezing room, of course, with another song. I think this is meant to be based off of, like, the original film, because there's a lot more, like, musical numbers. Plus, the ones in the fucking remake are bangers. Charlie and Joe take a drink and start floating around a room filled with bubbles, while Tom accidentally activates the secret machine, breaking it in the process. A single gobstopper drops out as Slugworth and Spike appear. Jerry feeds Spike gum before rolling him into Slugworth, allowing them to escape. The three of them manage to hear Joe and Charlie's cries, rushing in and saving them from being shredded by a fan. Once more Slugworth arrives, because he always does, but Tom floats away with Jerry and Tuffy, leaving them behind, but they follow suit. Wonka takes the tour to a golden goose room, where Veruca tries to buy one off of Wonka. She sings a song about her greed, which she also sings with Slugworth, who's mysteriously singing the same lyrics, who is still chasing the three. Veruca and her father fall down a chute meant for bad eggs, as the trio also fall down, ending in a dump inside a furnace. It's a lot more dark than the film. Veruca and her father escape with Tuffy and Jerry, but Tom is shut inside, burning to a pile of ash. But Tuffy returns him to his usual state. Wonka takes the tour to a TV room where Mike is sent through a teleporter into a TV. Sorry, I'm giving the cat a chin rub at the same time while I'm reading. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Mike is unfortunately shrunk, so Wonka sends him to be stretched back to size, which worries Charlie, who is the last one left. Wonka leaves them as the tour concludes, as the trio appear and tell Charlie and Joe that Slugworth has the gobstopper. Using CCTV, they teleport Slugworth and Spike into a TV, then back out, randomly changing everyone's sizes and appearance. Tuffy manages to teleport Slugworth's gobstopper, destroying it in the process. Why this didn't do exactly the same thing to them, who knows? But don't worry about that, it's plot stuff. Slugworth attempts to persuade Charlie into joining him, but he disintegrates them with a teleporter, and they survive, may I add. Unlike the gobstopper. They go to talk to Wonka, who tells them that they don't, who tells Charlie they don't get their lifetime chocolate due to their meddling. Joe is furious at him, but before they leave, Charlie returns his own gobstopper that he had out of nowhere, causing Wonka to claim he has won the competition. Wonka reveals that Slugworth is his employee, tasked with ensuring Charlie becomes Wonka's heir to the factory. Wonka, fucking hell, such a weird name to say. Wonka takes Charlie, Joe, and Tuffy into the Wonkavator, where it takes off and shows them the town from the sky. Yes, the Wonkavator, what a fucking name. Wonka tells Charlie that he is the new owner of the factory, making him overjoyed. They fly away as the film, thank fuck, ends. Good God, this was torture. I was so scared to say that this was fucking terrible when we watched it. Because I was waiting for you to go, oh, I'm really enjoying this.
So, generally, the whole time we were just sitting there, like, and I kept popping on and off my phone, and I thought you were going to turn around and say, like, oh, I actually enjoy this, we should get a copy of it.
We were both worried that we were going to, like, upset the other with saying something. But, no. we both agreed that this film fucking sucks and it was a mistake, and I'm glad we didn't own this on DVD. It's not a cup of tea. We don't own it on DVD, and this is a one and done, never to be fucking thought about ever again.
I don't even.
No.
I'll leave them in the room. Are we going fucking going?
Well, we go and watch something decent. But God, this film was bad. It was so ugly. The animation's horrific. Like, there was one point where I think it was Veruca, one of her eyes just like shot up while the other one was still facing straight. It's just, there are a lot of mistakes in this film that are just awful. Just go watch the actual film, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because you'll have more enjoyment out of all the practical sets and props as opposed to this fucking travesty. It's just terrible. But I think that about wraps it up. Unfortunately, we can't do a best kill, worst kill. Probably my sanity can be the best kill. Because God, this film was awful. But anyway, thank you ever so much for listening. It's Amelia's turn next, thankfully. Hopefully she'll pick something good.
I'm thinking about maybe going back to either Scream or Halloween, just because we started them and we never like finished them. So we haven't really sat there and watched a thriller,
A horror-y, slasher-y film. It's been a while since we've done one of them. I mean, 13 Ghosts was the last one, but I wouldn't really call that a slasher or whatever. It was a campy sort of horror-y film. But anyway, whatever it is, we'll be back on it, because I'm currently unemployed, because my last job fucked me over. Again. So...
Give us a like if you want to stop.
No, don't. There's a lot of shit. It's really depressing. That's mainly why I've been, like, not making these with you. I've been banging out game reviews, though. He hasn't picked that up because you're Mars.
Starzy would just be like a timer.
Meow 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 meow. Anyway, I'll finish the outro now. Thank you ever so much for listening. I've been your host, as ever, Papa Midnight 8. Of course, who else would it be? It's not going to be Morgan. I have once more been joined by my wife, the Obsidian Nook, Petal SMR. You can find her links in the description below. Starzy has also joined us. He's not said anything because he's a cat. Tiny has been asleep on the chair. Again, thank you ever so much for listening, and we will see you next time, hopefully with a better fucking film. See ya. Oh, pardon me.